See, the trigger creates swelling and irritation inside of the skin. That irritation becomes an itch. That itch is gonna make your dog lick. That licking is gonna bring moisture. That moisture is gonna feed bacteria. Bacteria then multiplies. The smell gets worse. Worse smell means more irritation. More irritation means more licking. And the whole loop starts all over again. What that really means is that the licking is not the start of the problem. It's more like the middle of the problem. And every time you treat the smell without treating what started it, it's gonna reset that clock 60 days. Same smell, same licking, same teaspoon video. Now take a look at your dog's paws right now. Do you see that rust color in between the toes? Yeah, that's stuff that looks like dirt. By the way, that's not dirt, that's called porphyrin staining. And porphyrin is a compound inside of your dog's saliva. When it dries on colored fur, it turns rust brown. If your fawn or brown bully has this staining in between the toes, what it means is that your dog has been in this loop long enough to leave a mark, which is a stain. And some of you just looked, I know it, and you're probably nodding right about now. And that staining is not cosmetic, it's actually a timestamp. It's letting you know how long your dog has been in the loop. And the worse it is, the deeper you need to go into the fix. So what actually started the loop? 4 things. And most dogs stuck in this cycle have more than one running at the same time. People ask me every single week, does chicken cause Frito smell in my dog's paws? Does grain-free make yeast smell even worse? Why does corn chip smell keep coming back even after I change the dog food? Good questions, all of them. Here's the honest answer. Root cause 1, what's in the bowl? Sugar and starch. Corn, potato, rice, fillers, they turn into sugar in your dog's blood really fast. Sugar feeds yeast, and yeast creates the warm, acidic environment those bacteria need to multiply and explode. If your dog's food has corn or corn syrup within the first 6 ingredients, every time you serve your dog a bowl, you're feeding that smell. Now, is chicken the problem? Sometimes it is, because chicken is one of the top allergens in dogs. But here's what I really need you to hear. You could switch to duck and have the exact same problem, because everything riding along with the duck, or the protein in this sense, is dirty. I'm talking about the fillers and everything else going on in the background. Corn byproduct, rendered fat, artificial preservatives. See, the chicken is just the cover story. The filler in the back is the one that's wearing the crown. And I need to pause right here because there's something hiding in grain-free dog food that nobody's talking about. And this is the one thing that is feeding the cycle all over again, even when the owner switched foods. I'm gonna show you this in just a few minutes, don't skip ahead. Root cause number 2, the outside world. Grass allergens, mold, pollen, chemicals on wet pavements. A dog with a healthy skin wall could walk right through that, no problem. A dog with a broken skin wall, however, walks through that and absorbs all of it. If your dog's Frito smell gets worse after rain or after walking through wet grass, that's not a coincidence. That's a clue. Funny thing is, most people don't connect the two. Root cause number 3 is trapped moisture. And this one gets overlooked the most, especially with bully breeds. And that's because they got wider feet and shorter webbing. And that equals less airflow. Every single toe on an American bully is a warm, dark, moist pocket. And that's not a hygiene failure. That's simply anatomy. That's why people always ask me, why do American bullies lick their paws more than other breeds? My response is bully owners have to be more intentional in drying the inside webbing of the paws than most other breeds. It's not because they're dirtier, it's because they're built different. Root cause number 4, the broken wall. If your dog has been having reoccurring yeast or has been on Apoquel over 90 days, that skin wall has taken heavy damage. A damaged wall is going to allow bacteria and moisture in at a rate that a healthy wall would just simply block. Here's the answer to why does Frito smell keep coming back on my dog paws no matter what I do. It keeps coming back because wall repair was never part of the plan. But we're going to fix that today. Let me talk about those teaspoon videos one more time. ACV paw soaks, antifungal shampoo. These things work. I use chlorhexidine right here at QBN. And I'm not telling you to throw any of that away. But here's the problem none of those videos will ever tell you. If you use any of those solutions without fixing the root cause, you're mopping water off of a floor when the pipe is still broken. The floor looks dry for a little while before it gets moist again. And then there you are watching another teaspoon video. People ask me, is Apoquel safe for long-term use for Frito paws and paw licking? Here's the real answer. Apoquel shuts off the itch signal, but that signal is there for a reason. It's like taking down your fire alarm but not putting out the fire. And here's the kicker. The second you stop the medication, the fire's still burning, so it comes right back. You see, you didn't fix it. You just stopped hearing it for a while. So what am I saying? Fix the pipe first. Here's what fixing the pipe looks like. Remember those 2 supplements I mentioned earlier? The ones we run at QBN to replace what kibble destroys? Here they are, Nuvet NuJoint DS. NuVet, the green bottle, delivers exact antioxidants, essential fatty acids, and micronutrients that actually serve the skin barrier wall. You cannot rebuild broken skin wall without raw materials. And that's what that green bottle is in NuVet. Without it, the walls stay broken. The loop is just gonna keep running no matter how many paw soaks you do. NuJoint DS, the blue bottle, handles the inflammation. And that's just not in the paws, but everywhere in the body. A dog deep in the Frito cycle is almost always inflamed systemically. You can see that in the porphyrin staining and in the dog licking, especially in the dogs that lick more at night. That's where inflammation naturally peaks. NuJoint DS drops the baseline so the rest of the protocol can do its work. Run both of these 2 together, they are the base. Everything else is gonna run on top of it. We have the link up here and the QR code for those of you watching on TV. We also have the link down below in the description. Make sure to order through AutoShip so you can get an additional 13% off. Now, as much as NuVet NuJoint DS are gonna give your dog the micronutrients that were degraded by kibble, and it's also gonna help you with the anti-inflammatory process, it cannot do everything by itself. What do I mean by that? The ingredients that you're putting into your dogs, aside from the NuVet NuJoint DS, matter. So if you're changing your dogs from grain to grain-free diet, there's some ingredients I need you to pay attention to because they're gonna spike the blood sugar as bad as corn or rice will on grain food. And that's none other than peas and potatoes. Don't get me wrong, the bag is gonna say grain-free, and you're gonna see these 2 ingredients. What they mean to your dog is a sugar spike, and sugar feeds yeast, and it starts this whole process again. Sweet potatoes and fillers are in that bag too, and they need to come out. Not someday, I'm talking about right now if you want to fix the problem. Here's what you need to do. Flip the bag, look at the first 6 ingredients. Find corn syrup, peas, potatoes, sweet potatoes, grain, sour gum. If any of those are in the first 6 ingredients, that food is feeding the cycle every single meal and you don't even know it. Now let me simplify it for you. I'm not gonna tell you just go get another bag. That's what a teaspoon video is gonna tell you. And your dog is back in the same cycle 6 weeks later. What if I told you there was a recipe? Not a brand, a recipe that doesn't just clean up the bowl, but it actually starves yeast from the one thing it needs most, which is sugar. I'm not gonna tell you all the ingredients that are in the recipe right now because that's a video for itself. I'll leave a link up here at the very end. But one of the ingredients that is in there is raw garlic. Yes, raw garlic. And garlic actually has something in it that's called alum. And alum is bad for dogs. But if you chop the garlic or you crush it and you let it sit for 15 minutes, there's gonna be a chemical reaction with air that's gonna turn alum into allicin. And allicin becomes an antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral that your dog particularly needs if it's trying to fight this very thing. And I'm saying this in particular because most people will skip the chop and just throw it right in, and that's where you cause more harm to your dog than good. Here's the kicker. Garlic is also an anti-inflammatory. Talking about anti-inflammatories, you do want to add sardines and water to your dog's bowl. Sardines are high in omega-3 fatty acids and they bring down systemic inflammation. And you want to make sure you feed that 2 or 3 times a week. Boiled eggs is something else that you want to add because they bring something called biotin, which is also going to help rebuild that wall. You want to give boiled eggs 2 to 3 times a week. You don't want to add butter, salt, pepper, none of that stuff. The next layer you need to work on is going to be the outside, but I'm going to let you know right now, the outside layer is not a fix. It's strictly maintenance. I'm talking about those baking soda baths, chlorhexidine baths. Heck, we even have a video showing you the protocol we use for our dog's paws here at QBN. I'll make sure I link that at the end as well. Now, I know what a lot of you are already thinking. Well, Raul, my vet says that Frito smell in paws is completely normal. Your vet says all dogs get it and that they're not worried at all. And your vet's not wrong. It is quite common. But common doesn't mean fine. Let me ask you something. Diabetes. Diabetes is common. A lot of people in America have diabetes. Is diabetes good because it's common? It doesn't make it okay to leave it alone. Your vet sees your dog for what, 15 minutes, twice, 3 times a year? Charges you for an arm and a leg to just come in and check your dog? Of course they're going to tell you that Frito smell in your dog paws are fine because they know that when it heightens to another level, it's just going to feed right into their financial model. They're not there with you watching your dog lick its paws at 2 a.m. where you got to yell at it so it can stop, nor are they asking you if you have enough money to pay for their visit, because it benefits them. They could care less how you have to get it. And those teaspoon videos, they don't know your dogs at all. They made content simple because simple gets clicks. They gave you one ingredient because one ingredient is easy to share. And every month that passes without fixing all 4 root causes is another month your dog is stuck in the loop. Now let me bring it all together. You came here because that teaspoon video didn't fix your problem. And now you know exactly why. Now you know that the bacteria lives downstream from the bowl, the environment, trapped moisture, and a broken skin wall. You fix all 4 and the bacteria has nothing to grow on. Outside is maintenance. You're gonna be running it at the same time you're running the fix on the inside. Your first step is to audit your bowl. Immediately turn your bag over. Look for sugars and starches. Remember the 6 ingredients I told you to look out for. You're gonna add sardines in water only, never in oil, and you're gonna add boiled eggs, both 2 to 3 times a week. Next, you're gonna be adding Nuvet NuJoint DS. Not one, not the other, but both of them together. Make sure to do AutoShip so you can get 13% off, and I'll be leaving the link down below in descriptions as well. I'm gonna be leaving a link up here shortly that's gonna show you how to clean your dog's paws, and also another link that's gonna show you how to starve yeast in 21 days. Before I show you that, I do wanna give you a timeline. If you follow the protocol to the T, this is what's gonna happen. The first thing you're gonna notice between 2 to 3 weeks is that the licking will stop. The corn chip smell is gonna take between weeks 3 to 5 to start fading away. That porphyrin brown staining we spoke about between the toes, that's the one that takes the longest. It's gonna take between 6 to 8 weeks. Take photos of the paws from day 1. Trust the trend, not the day. Now, before I let you go, I do wanna show you one of my dog's paws. Now, I do live in Southeast Texas. I've been sweating out here. It's only 9:15 in the morning. Yeah, no brown. No stains, none of that stuff. Despite us living in one of the hottest, most humid places in the US. All right, guys, don't forget, real problems, real breeders, real dogs, real solutions. Been Raul from the Q, catching you on the next one.